My first affirmative argument is not active student investment funds offer students unmatched experiential learning, equipping them with critical decision making and real portfolio management skills that passive models simply cannot replicate. Unlike passive approaches, active SMR forces students to make tough decisions, analyze market critically, and learn from real wins analysis. SMIs usually give the student the opportunity to manage a real portfolio with assistance of experts. Star Wines and Barton are not for developing critical security analysis skills. Active SMIs can be helpful well as passive index tracking simply cannot replicate. According to Joseph, the majority of the programs focus on education outcomes, which is demonstrate the primary value of SMIF the emphasis on experience. Active SMIs are particularly useful in offering education benefits, and it involves students in real investment management. According to Todd and Bernard, learners achieve here a critical thinking as well as group work skills and compared to traditional instructions. The practical experience fosters professional confidence and employability that theoretical learning cannot offer. The University of Queensland SMIF program provides a compelling example how experiential learning may be effectively applied. The competitive 9.49% return of the students' real diversified stock portfolio in 2023 roughly matched the 10.15% return of the ordinary application of the sector rotation, risk management, and peer performance analysis during the program are crucial in enhancing knowledge investment. According to the UQ SMR report, the programs yield excellent employability results with graduates attracting top financial firms. This depicts not SMIs have unique capabilities in linking theoretical knowledge with the actual real-world practice. In 2023, the University of Queensland SMIF made a 4.81% return and performing ordinaries by 2.29%, while it may exhibit a weaker one-year alpha of under 0.94. Its closing rivals index 10.15%. This small difference is on account of education nature of the programs since the UQ students received practical training in analyzing market trends, assembling portfolios, and managing risks. From the analysis, it's evident that SMIs offer reliable real-world experience, and its long-term performance remains good when compared to the benchmark. In summary, I believe that active SMIs equip the students with extraordinary experiential learning that turns into investment-ready professional, whether the returns may slightly lag market index. This program helps university directly achieve their mission of producing work-ready graduates with practical and industry-oriented skills.
The previous speaker praised active SMIs for their learning value, but my first negative argument is they consistently underperform with the resources and benefit only a small select group of students. The Australian University SMIs struggled to beat their benchmarks in 2023, with volatile months like September and October arguably the hardest. For instance, certain SMIs reported monthly declines greater than 3%, but with slightly underperforming their benchmarks by substantial but minimal gaps. Morningstar 2024 ratifies that passive ETFs like IOZ and VS have continually outperformed most Australian SMIs in the past 3 years. This persistent underperformance exposes the financial efficiency of these active SMIs, which have troubles in constantly outperforming passive strategies with lower cost and more stable returns. Joseph et.al. 2023 research detects a core educational performance confrontation within SMEs where the aim of student learning may come into conflict with delivering impressive investment outcomes. The portfolio turnover rates of SMEs are high, which contrasts with the long period of investment contended for in the endowment funds. This high turnover and the poor fiduciary responsibilities often result in inconsistent investment decisions. The SMIF by the University of Sydney returned 7.6% in 2022 to 2023, as opposed to the 13.45% return of the ASX 200 ETF. This underperformance has been partly attributed to high cash drag, whereby in excess of cash holdings curtailed the overall returns. Moreover, inefficient portfolio rotation resulted in a failure to take advantage of the market opportunities and high transaction costs. This efficiency lapses underscore the challenges that active SMEs face in managing investments. The University of Sydney Smith lagged behind the ASX 200 ETF, whereas between the period 2022 to 2023. In 2022, the Smith yielded 6.3%, significantly less than VAS 9.6%, despite the improvement to 7.6% in 2023. The Smith trailed well behind the VAS impressive 13.45% returns. This consistent underperformance for 2 years captures the day-to-day difficulty for active SMEs to keep pace with passive benchmarks. In summary, expanding active SMEs will hardly be justified from the cost-benefit analysis based on consistent underperformance and inefficiency in their operations. The absence of experienced fiduciary oversight frequently results in inconsistent and impulsive investment choices, thus heightening the risk to the fund and its stakeholders. On the contrary, passive strategy-oriented funds provide stable, measurable, and cost-efficient outcomes in the long run.
While the first negative speakers raised concerns about returns, my second affirmative argument is that Smith's uniquely developed students' adaptability, macroeconomic analysis, and complex market decision-making skills essential for finance careers. Students managed investment funds are primarily designed to supply education on the real uncertainty in the market instead of generating alpha. Proper management helps the students to become adaptive of the changing market condition and volatility. Active Smith's mandates provide students with an excellent opportunity of experiencing scenario analysis and sector rotation, gaining good experience in dealing with complex markets. According to Todd and Verdi, engagements of portfolios in real market fluctuations assist students to gain more resilience. Active strategies also nurture critical thinking as students interpret market signals. Griffith University shows the strength of active Smith through its students' investment fund. The GIZIF, Australia's second largest student fund, performed exceptional results, outshining the ASX by 79% and the sustainability index by 107% in 2024. In addition to generating remarkable returns, this program has real impacts as all net returns are reinvested in an annual £5,000 scholarship to Griffiths Business School undergraduates with financial hardship. Griffiths University's Smith shows the potential of active students management by the superior risk-adjusted returns. Although the passive VAS ETF achieved modest Sharpe ratio growth from 0.8 to 0.95, the GIZIF ratio witnessed a dramatic increase from 0.85 to 1.1 and outperformed in all 3 years. This 16% each shows that students are more than equaling the market. Such consistent outperformance justifies active SMIFs as not only understanding learning labs but also arguable better investment opportunities as compared to passive alternatives. To summarize, active SMIF's priority encourages innovation, situational leadership, and critical investment reasoning for students. These programs teach participants hands-on skills in live market environments, skills that cannot be learned through passive investment models. Through mastering the complexities of live portfolios, students are provided a great training for fast change and dynamic career paths in the field of finance. Thus, the educational benefits of active SMIFs extend far beyond finance, modeling well-rounded, flexible professional empowered to thrive in this ever-changing financial world.
Speak 3 highlights adaptability, but my second negative argument is that active SMIFs are exclusionary and unsustainable, diverting limited faculty time and funding from more inclusive, scalable student investment education models. Thus, I will demonstrate how passive SMIFs can deliver comparable educational value while being more sustainable, inclusive, and cost-effective for universities. Active SMIFs generally restrict participation to the best finance students, thus giving rise to an elite and exclusive environment. Consequently, faculty time is skewed towards helping the selected group, with the result that the program should have a much wider impact on the larger student body. Systemic barriers within SMIFs are well documented. Lentushenko 2025 notes that 79% of SMIF participants are male, which underlines the continued diversity gaps between genders. Faculty burnout emerges as a primary reason for program interruptions, hampering stability. Many SMIFs lack funding dedicated to them, which leads to unreliable operations and low long-term viability. SMIF at REMIT was discontinued in 2023 because of lack of consistency of faculty oversight over the SMIF and donor disengagement. REMIT 2023. The students complained of low academic support and obsolete access to basic financial resources, including Bloomberg terminals, severely reducing their practical experience. Lacking stable resources, participation rates diminished and educational outcomes deteriorated. This case clearly sets the stage for identifying the urgency of robust governance, sufficient funding, and access to modern technology of SMIFs for their sustainability, and to ensure they have the capacity to provide high-quality experiential learning for students. This graph constructs the faculty hours per semester with the students affected in 5 Australian universities. The data shows high faculty time commitment for a small number of participating students, indicating the resource-intensive characteristics of active SMIFs. This inefficiency, according to Bisworth 2023, indicates that the current model is not scalable for institutions seeking for significant, equitable impact. In summary, active SMIFs are often elite-focused, benefiting a small chosen set of students while requiring significant faculty time and resources. This program-intensive nature, coupled with financial and operational fragility, frequently leads to program disengagement, thus reducing their long-term viability. On the other hand, passive index-aligned SMIFs prove to be more inclusive and efficient design, encompassing a larger student population relative to fewer resources needed.